Hello everyone, this is Joni, and I'm glad to be back to say hello to you and to try to tell you what's been going on and everything. Um, I have been having some problems, as I think several of you have heard from my daughter, and I'm still fighting this high blood pressure is what I'm doing. And I think that what's going on with not being able to use my glasses and things like that, because I can't use them at all now unless I hold them like I used to and look at through the back of them. And if I do that for any period of time, it really bothers me, and it starts making me have pain in my head. And the main problem with me right now is I think that I have adhesions growing in my head, because I have had about 4 really good whacks on my head, and I grow scar tissue, something terrible. My head starts feeling hot, and I get pains in my head, really bad pain, and they start at the top of my scalp and run down inside the head. And I know that, as you all remember, I had nose surgery, and where he did that surgery on my nose, I have a band running up through here about 1 inch wide, and it's going from my nose up into the left side of my head, and that is scar tissue is what it is. It's growing up through there. When I had the surgery, I told him, I said, I really do form a lot of scar tissue, and it's really bad, so I would appreciate it if you would give me a shot that would keep that from forming, because my doctor in West Virginia always did. And I had a large malignancy removed here, and you can't tell that there was anything there or anything, because he gave me that shot that prevented the scar tissue from growing. And so I don't know if this new doctor gave me the shot or not, but evidently he must not have, because I do have that band that is about 1 inch wide growing from my nose up into the top of my head, because you can see it if I have my bangs pulled back. You can see it. Today I was coming out of Tanya's door, and you stepped down from her from her floor onto her front porch, 1 step, and Sophie was in front of me, and she was about 2 or 3 years old, and what does she do? She's in front of Mama, but she stops to see an ant that she sees crawling on the floor. Well, I'm not going to fall over top of that child, because I love her too much. So I throw myself away from her, and I land out in the yard once again, turning a complete turnaround, and land on my hips again, and my back rolls back just like a blanket opening up. And the last thing to hit was my head, and when my head hit, it went ka-thunk, just like that, and I thought, oh my goodness, that was a bad, bad hit. And it hit about the same place that the truck driver hit me. So that was that. Then we were in Opryland. The nurses had all gone down there at Christmas, and Tanya being one of the nurses, we all went on a bus, and we stayed in Opryland Hotel and had a blast, just really had a blast. But I was in the shower, and they had one of these tubs that the interior of the tub is built up higher than when you go to step down. And when you go to step down, you have a lot farther to go down here than you do from where you're standing when you're in the tub. And I went to step down, and my foot did not quite hit the rug that was there. So I hit the tile, and that sent me scooting and sliding across the floor. And Tanya was in the living room of our hotel. And she said, Mom said, I heard you coming down the wall. She said, I could hear you falling right down the side of the wall. She had to come in and help me get up because I couldn't get up. And I don't know what all I hit that time, but no doubt my head was involved in that too. So that's all the hits and knocks I've had. So it's no wonder my poor head is giving me so much trouble. But I think that's where all the scar tissue is coming from. And now it's in there, and it's saying, hey, we have to have room to go somewhere. And I think it's trying to attack my poor brain that has trouble anyway. So I don't know what I'm going to do about it. I figure I'll end up having to go to Virginia and see Dr. Zazzler up there. And I've seen him before due to the joints and things that were involved in those accidents, but not my head. And so I guess I'm going to have to go see him. I haven't been looking at the right place. It's been a long time since I've made a movie. And so anyway, I guess I'm going to have to do that. And in the meantime, my blood pressure, I'll be sitting here just like I'm sitting here now talking with you all. And all of a sudden, my face will start feeling hot. And it will start feeling like I'm getting a sunburn. Then it will start getting pain. Starts on the outside of my head, and it goes down in about 6 inches. That's about how far it goes. And it really, really, really does hurt. And it continues like that for a good while until I start massaging my scalp, and I can't get it to stop because I can't massage it hard enough. And usually Tanya will have to come up and massage it. And when she massages it, she really puts the pressure on it and on the back of my neck and on my, funny of all things, on my eyebrows. She pushes in on my eyebrows. And that gives, oh my gosh, it feels like somebody has taken half of your head off. But it relieves that stress and that pain and everything. So I'm just hoping that this is going to help. Now, she hasn't massaged my scalp now for, I think it's 2 days. And my face feels just a little warm right now. No doubt it's reliving all of these things that have happened to me that's causing it to do it now. And I don't like to relive all these things, but to tell you what's happening, I have to tell you what happened prior to this. So, and oh, I look like I'm crying all the time too. That's another thing. If you see my eyes look like they're welling up and I'm ready to start, tears just rolling down my face, I'm not. I'm not. It's my eyes watering. They get so much water in them until you will just declare that she is ready to just burst out any moment, and I just boo-hooing, but I'm not. And I will actually have tears running down the side of my face, and I have to take a tissue and wipe them. There's so much. So I don't know if that's putting pressure on my tear ducts, if it's putting pressure on my sinuses. I think it is, because I think that's why when I was filming, I was having problems with my sinuses, and I was thinking it was the medication, because it did say that it could cause you to have sinus problems later on. And so I thought that's what it was, but it may not have been the medication. It may have been my head just trying, because for 10 years now, I could pick up a phone and put it to my left ear, not my right ear, but my left ear, and talk on it for about 3 minutes, and my head would start getting hot, and I could get off of the phone, take my blood pressure, and my blood pressure would be up. Or I could simply change the phone to my other ear, my right ear, and it would go right back down. So that had started even worse. So I could, so I got a speaker phone, and I used the speaker all the time. So I didn't pay much attention to that. But then I noticed my earrings. Um, as you all know, I wear hoops all the time, basically. And I got some new hoops, but you might know what ones I'd have on tonight. Uh, uh, this earring, usually tonight it isn't different, I don't think, but it is about an inch higher than the one on the right because my head is so swollen on the left that it takes that earring up higher. And a Q-tip will not go in this left ear as far as it will in the right ear because it will touch the skin as it's going in. But now I can put it in my right ear and just the way a Q-tip normally does. You take it and go around and around on that outer part, and it's okay. But with my left ear, I can't do that. And so I kept telling Tanya, I said, there's something wrong going on with that ear. I don't know what's going on, but my earring is higher. And then I noticed here just lately, the left side of my face started swelling along with the earring, and I mean the ear. And then that's when I started having the pain down in my head. Now, if it is myofascial, and a lot of the doctors say they don't believe in it, but it's doctors who don't know anything that say they don't believe in myofascial, because doctors who are trained and really know what's going on knows that there is myofascial. And myofascial is that little thin membrane. If you've ever cut a chicken up, go to the food department. If you've ever cut a chicken up, you'll notice that down below the skin, there's a real thin, sort of slimy-like material there. It's a substance that is right over the meat of the chicken. That is the fascia, I think it's called. Tanya would know, but I don't. And that is what myofascial is. That stuff gets torn in two, and then it starts doing all these weird things and growing scar tissue and all this stuff. It's a vicious cycle is what it is. And so I don't know what I'm going to do, but anyway, I'm hoping to get it straightened out some way. Now this, you all probably remember my episode with my glasses. This is my pair of glasses I'm using right now. It only has one side to it because I can't wear my glasses. And when I do anything, I do like this, and or try to do it without glasses at all. And if I didn't have the tears as much in my eyes as what I do, I think I could get along pretty well for close-up work without the glasses. But I don't know if I can get contacts or not, since I don't wear prescription glasses, because I'm still in non-prescription glasses, still 3.50. And, excuse me. So I'm going to have to check with my ophthalmologist and see if I can get contacts that are non-prescription for just the strength that I need. And if I can, and I don't get them back in my head. I've always said I wouldn't wear contacts, I'd wear glasses, but now it seems like unless they can do something through physical therapy to get rid of this myofascial in my head, I may have to go to contacts if I can wear them. But I think I would end up with them back in my head. I really do. Because anytime I've ever even thought about using contacts, I think, oh my gosh, I would have those things back in my head. I would never get them right. I could never get them out. And I don't like the thoughts of even wearing them. And and the way my eyes tear up so, it probably wash them right out. but I can feel in my right eye right now it's getting really watery, and it's starting to get a lot of water in it. But anyway, so I haven't done anything to really show you guys tonight, but I could show you something that I did before that you all haven't seen. And it's been sitting here for months. But this is a little box that I made. So, it's been probably 2 years ago, year and a half ago. And I wanted to make a box. And I made one, the first one I made. And I wouldn't even let anyone see it. It was a shoe box, and I just was more or less seeing what I could do. And I hid it under my desk because I didn't want anybody to see it. Well, Sophie comes over and she sees it and she says, "Mama, may I have this box?" She said, "I would like to keep my Barbie dolls in it." And she was just a little thing. And I said, "Will you not let anybody see it?" And she said, "No," I said, "I won't let anybody see it." I said, "Well, Mama doesn't want anybody to see it." I said, "It's too ugly." So she said, "I won't let anybody see it, Mama." I said, "Okay, you can have it." So then I thought, I've got to fix a box and fix it right. So I got another box, a shoe box. And I looked and looked to try to find something to put on it. And I couldn't find anything that I liked. And one day I was going through my paper, and I saw this old schooner, and I love schooners. I think they're just so beautiful. And I thought, that's what I need. So I got the schooner paper, and I cut it out, and I had 2 sheets. I only had 2 sheets. And this box is so old. In fact, it's turned just a little bit darker than what it originally was. But anyway, I took it and I covered the inside and the outside. And I put the ship up here on top, and I put these flowers that I made out of lace. And I put them up there on that. And then I put the little corner things on there, on each corner. And then I took these pearls, they're the half pearls, and I put those around through there. And then that's a key. And then this is a little medallion with a cross on it. I always try to have a cross or something like that on my things. And that cross, and somewhere it says something, I don't even know where it is. And these are little flowers that I made. No, I don't believe I did make the I think I bought the little brown roses. I think maybe at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. But I put a key on there, and somewhere it said the key always leads one home or something like that. And I thought that was a really good thing for a schooner and the captain, because he's away all the time fishing and getting all those big whales and things. And his key is there and the heart is there to lead him back home to his loved ones. And I used this as a harpoon. It really isn't a harpoon, but I used it for one. And then I put the little legs on it. And I really liked the little legs. And it's really a nice box. I haven't had the lid off for ages and ages and ages. And it's a little hard to get off, but it comes off. But I'm not going to fool trying to get it off, but it does come off quite easily if you're not sitting here in my chair. But that is one of the things that I made. And I really like it. I sat it down in here so that it would be there and I could look at it from time to time, because I really do like that. And then to pass the time, where I've been sitting here not able to do anything because of my glasses and my headaches. When those headaches come, they're horrendous. So about 2 years ago, I bought some coloring books, adult coloring books. And I thought, I think I'm going to start using some coloring books on my channel. And there might be people who would like to color, just like I love to color. I always did, even when I was in grade school, I loved to color. And right on through when the kids were little, I colored with them. And then Sophie came along and I colored with her and everything. It's just always stayed there. And then I started painting, and that reminds me, I still am going to show you guys my painting. I'm sorry I haven't gotten to them yet, but there are two that was in our flood back at the house. Well, I had more than two, but two that I was able to salvage, but I have to put them in frames. And I haven't found frames that I really like for them, so that will match my other frames. And one is for the dining room or kitchen, and it is a picture of a table with what does it have on it? It has a copper teapot, and it has some grapes hanging over the edge of the tablecloth, and it has I think it has some flowers in this. It's been so long since I've seen it, I've forgotten. But we had to take the frame off because the frame was destroyed, but the painting wasn't. And so I've got to get a frame for that, and then I'm going to show that to you all. And I'm going to hang it here somewhere if I have to move something over to hang it up, because I really do love it. And the copper teapot, I'm very proud of it, because this was I believe it was my third painting. And to be able to paint copper is not that easy. Unless you've had lessons, which I had not. So I was really proud of it. The other one is another copper pot, but it's more like a pitcher that is made out of copper. The tall ones like they're using now, made out of the aluminum. But this one was copper, and it has a flower arrangement down in it. So that's what it's made like. And and it's my second painting. And for it to be a second painting of no one who had ever painted before, I was pretty pleased with it. I see now that things that I could go back, and I even told Tanya, I said, I'm going to go back and change that. And she said, no, Mom. She said, don't do that. She said, that shows how you were when you did your second painting. She said, so don't do that. She said, you know that it was only your second painting. And she said, then you can see how you've progressed. But it was daggone good for somebody who had only done their second painting. So I'm not bragging on myself. I'm just telling you. I tell things usually the way they are. There's no usually about it, unless I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. But this is me I'm talking about, so I can just talk about my painting terrible if I want to. So it's not great, but for a second painting, it's okay. And it's in oils. They're all in oils. And I did those paintings and everything, and I'm going to, like I said, show you all the pen. I bought the coloring books, and I started coloring in those. And I colored just a short while, and then I got into my channels. And I started putting up the videos with the jewelry and that I had made and everything, and I got into that really pretty heavy. So I sort of forgot about the coloring books. And they're regular adult coloring books. I'm sure you've all seen them by now. But I have been doing some coloring since I've been not making the movies and things. And I thought that I would show you some that I have, and I'm going to start putting them back on my channel because that will allow me to just sit down and just talk like I am now to you guys. But in the meantime, I can sit there and color, and I can be productive, let's put it that way. And in the meantime, I may start painting again. I don't know. But I know I'm going to, good Lord's will. It's still the good Lord's will with me. I don't change from, if you see me a year from now, it'll be the same as 2 years ago. It's always, if it's the good Lord's will. Because I can do nothing unless Jesus is with me. So I'll show you some of the little things that I have been coloring. This is my first coloring that I did. Now, I haven't finished the background in it or anything. And they're really fun to do. And if anyone had told me that I would love to paint houses that little mice live in, I would have said, you're crazy. Very, very nicely, but you're crazy. But these are made so daggone cute, and they're made out of little things like you would think that these little varmints would pick up and things. That's the first one that I did. And then this one is my little Red Riding Hood. And I think she's very cute. And those big eyes, those big blue eyes. I think she's just cute as can be, and she's on her way to Mama's house with her basket and her kitty cat. I think it's a kitty cat. Yeah. I think so. I can't tell, really. But anyway, it's a little Red Riding Hood, I know that much. So I did that one. Now I'm going to do these over, I think, when I start on my channel, so that if there's any of you that want to paint with me, or if you want to paint some and show them to me. This is another one of a little house, and their little mice are out there sitting. Looks like a little girl and boy, and I must be boyfriend and girlfriend, and they're sitting out there talking. And the mushrooms and the flowers and everything. They're just really sweet, I think. And it gives you something for your mind to think about. Not all your problems and your myofascial and everything growing in your head. It gives you things to think about. So if you have anything, problems going on, get your coloring book and join me. And we'll see what we can work up. Now, it takes a while to do these. Some people have even been 4 hours doing them, but now I wouldn't think of asking you to stay 4 hours. But that's another one. That's a library. And the children are there all in the floor reading their books, which is good. We know that. And then this is the last one that I painted, and I think it might be, I think the first one and this one are my favorites. I really like that, but still I have to put the backgrounds in these. And you can see down the side here, I just folded my coloring book back and took copies. So that's what this dark space is here. So when I do them in the book, I won't have that. And because I'm just going to leave them in my book, I think. I'm pretty sure I am. And, but I really, really loved the way this one turned out. I like the colors and everything. And I haven't put this down here in, or the background or anything in. But I did manage to get some smoke coming out the chimney up there. But that's what I'm going to be doing. If you all would be interested in joining me or watching me. There are a lot of people who really do like to do these sorts of things. And so I hope that you will join me. And once in a while, like just like my paintings, I'll show those I'll show those to you. I'm still going away from that little dot. Um, I'll show those to you. And then, but I've probably been on here way too long and I forgot to set my timer. I always do. And Tanya says, Mom, don't make your video too long. Well, it's already too long when we know that. But I may have to cut a bunch of it out. So, but when I start coloring, I won't have to cut a bunch of my stuff out, hopefully. And so it's been really good coming back and talking with you and letting you know how everything's going. And I hope that you all have been well. And I know that when I stopped making my videos that some of you were having problems and some of you had lost loved ones. I haven't forgotten about that. And I haven't forgotten to continue praying for you. And I will always do that. And I really do feel close to the people on my subscribers because it's like a family. It really is. You build a bond with them, and it's just like aunts and uncles and nieces and nephews. And Tanya and I were looking at some pictures yesterday. And family members we hadn't seen for quite some time because we live so far apart. And it's just heart-rendering to see people that you haven't seen for so long, and they have changed, and of course you have changed, but you can't see yours as much. Isn't it weird and isn't it funny? You go out and you, if you're like me, you see someone you haven't seen for years and years and years, and you look and you say, oh my goodness, they have really aged. And then you go home and you say, they're not the only ones that aged. You were right there at the same time doing the same thing. And I have to always laugh when I think about that because I've looked at people that I went to school with or something, and then you see them and you think, oh my goodness, they've aged. And then I look in the mirror and I think, boy, you're sure not the one you used to be either. So it really is funny. And it's terrible, too, that we can't drink from the fountain of youth. But one day we will. So if we all behave ourselves. And drinking from that fountain of youth will be an exhilarating experience, let me tell you. And I know that I've been missing my husband so much here lately. And unless you go through something like that, unless you experience it, you never know. We would just have celebrated our 64th anniversary on the 4th of July. And that's a lot of years, but he missed out on the last, I guess it was 11 years. And it doesn't seem like he's been gone that long, but he has. And let's see, 7, 10, 10, 12 years he's been gone. And to me, he is getting more close to me. He's getting closer to me now when I think of him than just after he first passed away. Because I don't know what it is, but I can see the texture of his skin and the way he walked, the way he talked, and things like that. It's coming back closer and closer to me. And maybe that's God. I don't know. I would think it probably is. But It's nice, I know that. My sister was, her husband had passed away, and she told me about it. She said that she was sitting in her living room one day, and she said she just looked up, and she said there stood her husband. And she said, it's not the husband that left. It was the husband that she married when they were young. And said he was looking at her, down at her, and grinning, just as sweet as could be. And she said she thought, oh my goodness, there you are. And she reached her, it was so real that she reached her hands out so that she could touch him. And when she reached her hands out, he disappeared. But I think that was God letting her see him because she missed him so, so very much. And I think that was God letting her see him. And I think he was more or less just saying, Virginia, he's still waiting here for you. And you'll be just like him. You will be young again, just like he is young again. And I think that's true. I think that we will all be young and beautiful, and won't we all love that? And handsome. And I just have to say this. I have a beautiful family. I have a gorgeous family. I have a daughter that you just can't find one like her to me. And I'm sure everybody else feels the same way about their daughters. But I have a daughter that just doesn't stop giving. And I don't ask for anything. I try to go out of my way not to ask her, but she is there always, always, always. And she puts it upon herself to come whether Mom asks or not. And she's beautiful inside and out. And I have a son who is absolutely beautiful. He is so handsome inside and out. And he loves his little girl. He's got a little girl, yeah. She's 15 and she's 5'8", and she's Mama's little girl. And but I have to look up to her now. I'm up to her chin, I think it is. But I just bought her a bunch of clothes, and she loved them. And she is beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous. And my son, he is so handsome. And God has blessed me with a son-in-law that he's like my daughter. Giving, giving, giving. He is right there, and my eyes are beginning to run. He is right there. When the yard has to be mowed, he's there. I don't have to ask him. He comes and says, I need the key to the mower. He goes and mows my grass, and I have 2 acres. Never says a thing about it. And goes to the store with me, brings my groceries home, puts them away. What ones I can't get to before he does. And the 4th, he and Tanya grilled out at their house and invited me down. And we had a lovely dinner, and everything was just beautiful, everything. And we had a very good time. And so they had all new gutters installed, and they've been waiting for it to rain so they could see what their new gutters do. And it hasn't rained yet enough for them to see what they're doing. Any other time it would be raining every day. But that's the way usually life is. You get something new like that. And you can't see how the difference between the old and the new, you know. So they're waiting for a rain, but we're not hoping for a big one, and we're not hoping for any bad weather. But God has blessed me. He has given me so many blessings with my family and my prior family, my mother and father, and all my brothers and sisters, and all such things, my nieces and nephews, and everything. You might know one of my nieces told me that her daughter had graduated and she's been teaching. Now she's going back for her master's, and then she's going after her doctorate degree. Just really thrilled me. Something terrible. It just. I was so thrilled to hear that, and it makes me so happy because I'm one who thoroughly believes in education. Give me an education in there anytime. Scoot those children forward, giving them advantage. Let them learn all they can learn is what I believe in. And I also have a daughter-in-law. I was about to forget about her. She was born on my husband's birthday, and her name is his name. And where are you going to find that? Not many places. And so God has given me a beautiful family. Beautiful, beautiful family. I couldn't ask for a better one. And my son, when he hugs me, he just puts his head on my shoulder and just holds me. It's just like, I cherish you, Mom. You're so precious. And it makes you feel good. It makes you feel real good. But I have done enough talking about my family and all my good things that's happened. But you really can't talk about, well, I talked about a lot of things that weren't too good, too. So I have to sort of even them up with my good things, too. And my tears are really rolling in this eye now. So I got to keep stopping them. But when I start coloring, which I'm planning on maybe starting tomorrow night, I'm going to probably be coloring just about every day. And I'm going to be putting up videos. And if you want to watch them with me and listen to me go on like I do, with all of these stories and rants and raves and talking about the good Lord and all the things that are of interest, I hope, to you. And you can see how much older I'm getting all the time. I have aged since I was on here, I don't know how much, and I've gained weight, I don't know how much. So I've got to get on a diet. I really and truly have. That is the utmost importance to me, that I get on a diet. So you all pray for me that I will be able to get on a diet and stay on there until I lose all this junk. And that's what it is. It's junk. But I haven't eaten for so many years, and now since I'm on my green tea and my probiotics, you won't believe this. I have to tell you this. Tanya's going to say, Mom? And I'm going to say, Tanya? Sophie came over and spent the weekend with me. And we went to the store. And usually I don't buy ice cream or anything like that because I can't eat it because of, sweets make me sick. Or they were making me sick. That's in the past tense now. And I don't know how long it'll last, probably until my sugar gets down there to where all these sweets are going to get up. But I got her a container of ice cream about this tall, and I bought myself one because I don't want to bring a carton of ice cream home because that's way too much. So anyway, she didn't eat all of her ice cream. She just ate maybe about this much of it, and it was chocolate. And I don't go near chocolate. I haven't gone near chocolate for years. It's been probably 30 years since I've had chocolate. But since I went on the probiotics and the tea, and I've been taking them faithfully every day, I take 2 and 3 probiotics now, and I get them from a doctor can't remember his name. He's on TV. I'll remember it, and when I'm coloring, I'll tell you. David Becker, I believe is his name. He had cancer, and he went on a diet and vitamins and all this stuff that he started now fixing and selling. And it was cured, and he has not had an reoccurrence. And he's been free now for, I think, about 12 years or something like that. But anyway, I bought Sophie the ice cream, and I bought myself one that had caramel and vanilla ice cream. And she bought black chocolate. I mean, it was dark, dark chocolate. Well, she went home, and we took her home, and I forgot about her ice cream, and she forgot about it. She didn't eat it. So I looked in the freezer one day, and there sat that ice cream, and I thought, I wonder if I could eat some of that chocolate, because I couldn't eat quesadillas. I'm eating quesadillas now just like they were a piece of bread, and they don't bother me at all. And I could not go near one of those things. And so I got that out, and I looked at it, and it was such dark chocolate. And I thought, oh, you better take it easy. So I got 1 teaspoon. I don't think it was even a whole teaspoon. I put it in my mouth, and oh, that tasted absolutely. If you haven't eaten chocolate for years and years and years, and then you eat it, it is delicious. And I ate that, and I put it back in the freezer. The next night I went and I got a whole complete teaspoon and ate it. The next night I got 2 teaspoons because this was giving me no problems at all. The next night I went in, I got about 3 or 4 teaspoons, big heaping teaspoons. Okay, the next night I just went and got the carton, and I sat down. I ate the entire thing she left. It did not bother me. My bowels did not get sore. I had no reaction to that at all. And any other time, I would have had violent cramps, and I would have been on, I've forgotten the name of the pills now, mental, for cramping. Don't have to take those now. And it is all in the green tea. I take green tea with mint and probiotics, and then I take the rest of my vitamins that I take faithfully every day. And Tanya has gone on the green tea now, she and her husband, and she says she is feeling much better. And I'm trying to get my son and his wife on the green tea for everyday thing because it cuts out inflammation. And if it doesn't happen at first, make sure you're taking it together, the probiotics and the tea. And mine, like I said, is with the mint. And if you're taking that and you stay on it for any given period of time, I have been on mine now for about a year. But who would ever have thought, I never would have thought I'd have been able to. And we're getting ready. They're almost completed with an IHOP's over near us, and then Sonny's barbecue outfit. And they had ribs. Oh my goodness, used to be ribs. I could eat them back in the 90s, 2000, but then I couldn't eat them anymore. I'm going to try some when they get through building and they're ready for business. If I can keep this blood pressure in control, I got to see what's going on with it now. It's keeping me from eating some of the things that I would like to eat. But I also have to do this diet thing. But it's so good to be able to know that if you want to just eat some little thing that's chocolate, because they say the dark chocolate is really good for you anyway. And they found out that nuts were good for you after I couldn't eat them. But I wouldn't try the nuts now, regardless. I won't be trying nuts. But the other stuff, I am. So make sure that you're taking your probiotics and your green tea with mint, and see if you don't feel better, and the rest of your vitamins. And I think that it will help you a lot. So now I'm going to get off here because I'm way too long. And I hope that you all will forgive me for being gone so long, because I was having a nasty, nasty bout with this head. And if it starts in, well, sometimes I called Tanya one night at 1:30 in the morning, and my blood pressure was 2 points from where I had to take a second different blood pressure pill than what I normally take. And I've never had to take it since I've been home from the hospital, but I was ready to have to take it. And she started talking with me, and she talked with me for probably about an hour and a half. And I massaged that scalp of mine and got it to where it alleviates that pain down in it. And I can just put it on my pillow, and it will start it in a lot of times. And if you wouldn't think that just putting, this is another pair of glasses that I bought, but as you can see, these are really wide. You would not think that just putting those like that would harm you. I can't wear them. If I put them on for 10 minutes, my face starts getting hot, and I know, get the glasses off or you're going to have repercussions from that. So I stepped on these and broke the one thing off. So then I just started putting this like this. It wouldn't work. So now, instead, they used to hold them like this, except the glasses were out this way. I have to hold mine like this. So, getting back to my farewell, I can't get off of here. And I will talk with you guys probably tomorrow evening. And I hope to put up maybe 3 to 4 videos a week. And I can do that even if my head is hurting. I can do that because it gets my mind, it helps me. And nothing will help other than massaging my head. But sometimes if I have my mind occupied, it will help me to keep it from coming at first. I don't know if that myofascial draws up if I get nervous or something. That's a complete possibility. But whatever. But I will see you guys, good Lord's will, tomorrow evening. And I will do a coloring. I don't know which one I'm going to do. And even if some of you would like to color along as I color, I can give you the names. You can give me comments or whatever. And I can give you the names of some of the books that I bought, because I bought some new ones. These are not the ones that I had back 2 years ago. These are cute little ones about little girls with the big eyes and the big long eyelashes, and the little mice, and just fun things. And but you could buy whatever you wanted to. And there are oh dear, I've forgotten what they call them. They're designs, and they're square or round, and they're just different types of designs, and some of them are pictures inside. Mandrels, something I've forgotten. I'm still new at this. But maybe you prefer making that, but you could just sit and do your coloring and listen to me talk, and I can do my coloring, and we just all have happy time. So I'm going to get off of here, and I'll say goodbye to you guys. Oh, no, I'm not going to say goodbye. I'm going to say so long. And you all take care, and know that I still love you, and know most of all, of course, you know what I'm going to say. God loves you much, much, much more than I love you. And that's a lot. So I'll talk with you later. Bye bye.